Yes, yes. Welcome in to the unofficial post-game show. I am your host, Timothy Michael McKernan. We are enjoying a Cardinal NLCS appearance yet again in St. Louis as the Cardinals absolutely beat the hell out of the Braves in Game 5. We are broadcasting on Facebook Live on the TMA fan page. Now that's a private exclusive club, and you got to be a member. But if you're not a member and you can't afford an initiation fee, you can then be on the Tim McKernan Show page on Facebook. You can be on Twitter at Tim McKernan or the Inside STL channel on YouTube. That is how you can enjoy the fun and games here as we talk about the Cardinal win and then look ahead to the NLCS. Your questions, your comments throughout are welcome. I will attempt to read and answer over the course of our hour or so, however long we spend doing this. I just enjoy being down here in my basement and talking it over with the fine people on the unofficial post-game show, which took place from an Uber following Game 4 and has been in my basement for Games 1, 2, and 3. So your questions are welcome. Your thoughts are welcome. I put a poll question up on Twitter. Let me see what the results are on this thing. Because I put it up. It was in the realm of like 90% people wanted to see the Nationals win tonight as opposed to the Dodgers. That would mean if the Nationals were to win, that the Cardinals would be hosting games 1 and 2 here in St. Louis Friday night and Saturday, I believe Saturday afternoon. Fun fact for no and tell, because of the kinds of weird things that I focus on, that's 81% Nationals, 1,136 votes over the last half hour. Fun fact for no and tell, and that is that the forecast on Friday here in St. Louis, should the Nationals in Strasburg beat the Dodgers and Walker Buehler tonight, there's a low of 36 degrees in St. Louis on Friday, and then 70% chance of rain. Weekend looks great, still relatively speaking cool, but not 36 degrees and not rain. I know a lot of people want to talk about a variety of things with regard to Jack Flaherty, but let's start with the first inning, because that's, from my standpoint, Dexter Fowler's at bat and Matt Carpenter's at bat set the stage. And what it told you was the Cardinals made adjustments, and I loved it. I realize this is, relatively speaking, kind of getting into the weeds. Now, I don't know if Foltynewicz tipping his slider. I don't know if the Cardinals went back and found something that tipped the slider. But either way, Fowler's ability to lay off on 3-2 and Carpenter's ability to lay off on 3-2, that broke him. That broke him. I'm sure Freddie Freeman's misplay didn't help, but the ability for the Cardinals to lay off that pitch that killed them in Game 2 was the determining factor in that game. And somebody who gets into these kinds of minutia of baseball in the postseason, I loved it. Fowler's walk, loved it. And then Matt Carpenter's walk, loved it even more. Of course, Tommy Edman continues to do. That set the stage. Now, what we had happen following the historic 10-run first inning, a number of people, I got a bunch of texts about it, a bunch of tweets about it. Should the Cardinals pull Jack Flaherty and then save him for Game 1? Again, I realize many people probably aren't aware, but for the purpose of stating it, Game 1 of the NLCS, either Friday in St. Louis or Friday in Los Angeles, one or the other. And then Saturday, I believe Saturday afternoon, if it's in St. Louis. You can remember back to when the Cardinals and Dodgers played in 2013. They played on Friday night, and then Michael Wacha got the start, and I think he beat Kershaw on Saturday afternoon. It would be a similar schedule, as I would imagine they will have the Yankees and either the Astros or Rays playing in that primetime spot. That's what I would imagine would happen if the game is in St. Louis, Cardinals and Nationals. But see how that plays out. So what people were wondering with a 10-0 lead, and I don't think it's something you dismiss. Let's start with that, and I want your opinion on it. Like I said, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, wherever the case might be, I'll be reading comments and questions throughout. But from my standpoint, even though it would have been a wonderful convenience to pull Jack Flaherty and save him for Game 1, from my standpoint, that's just it wasn't a real option. It might be the kind of thing if you were playing online and some video game, but this is something where he's all geared up for it. He's already gotten loose. It's not like you're completely saving him for these guys in their routine. I really am anti-short rest starts. We saw it last night with Verlander. Saw it 2 days ago with Dallas Keuchel. Pitchers who get the opportunity start on short rest have a full run higher in their ERAs than when they're on normal rest, and this goes back to the wild card era of 1995. And keep in mind, okay, the people who are starting on short rests are not the back end guys in the rotation. They're the guys who you would want starting on short rest, the Kershaws of the world, the Verlanders. I don't know if necessarily Dallas Keuchel is one of those guys, but that's the choice Brian Snitker made, and I think he paid for it. That was something we talked about following Game 4, that he boxed himself into a corner by having Keuchel go in 1 and saving Soroka for Game 3. You only got to see him one time, and Cardinal fans got to see how good he was. So with that all said, Jack Flaherty, I don't think really would have been on his routine for full rest on Friday. So from my standpoint, I didn't expect him to hold from the start once the Cardinals got up 10-0. I would have disagreed with it even if it would have wound up working out. Again, this is non-results oriented post-game show, the unofficial post-game show. However, I will say this. So I'm kind of in the middle, I guess, on this, my honest assessment. I was surprised he pitched as long as he did and threw as many pitches as he did. That caught me off guard. I would have thought when I saw him walking off the mound in the 5th inning, I thought, okay, that's it. And on top of it, he was hitting for himself in the top of the 6th after hitting Acuna. And I thought, wow, he's going to go back out there. He's already thrown 90-some-odd pitches, and he's now, if they want to exact some revenge, going to be sitting there and taking a fastball in the ribs or on the gas. And I was really surprised by it. Candidly, I don't really know. I'd be curious what Mike Schilt has to say about it. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what the point of that was. I'm not sitting here flipping out about it. I'm surprised that they brought him back out there for the 6th inning. So from my standpoint, as I'm looking at this thing in this incredibly unique situation, all those of you who are old enough to remember the 1996 Game 7 of the NLCS, the Cardinals were on the receiving end of the Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. You're not in a spot where you're either all in or you're out. And I don't even know if you had the option to be out. And by I mean all in, Flaherty starts, or out, you pull him. But again, he is in his starting pitching routine. And I really feel like managers have gone from 0 to 100 on this all-in strategy with pitchers enforcing issues that then create issues. You have these guys who are in routines that go back actually to February. And now start messing with them in October, and I just don't get it. I just totally disagree with it. Now, if you have to do it out of necessity, I get it. See Chris Carpenter in Game 7 of the 2011 World Series. I get it. But Verlander was not a necessity. I don't think Keuchel was a necessity on Monday for the. And on top of it, all due respect to Dallas Keuchel, this is not Dallas Keuchel 2 years ago. And they boxed themselves in, and that's why Snitker wound up burning through pitchers on Monday afternoon. So with that all said, because I think it's really the only thing that there's any discussion on from this game, Jack Flaherty, my standpoint, pitches Game 3 on Monday, whether that be in St. Louis or that be in Washington. That's kind of it. And then you go, well, I want to see him pitch 2 times in the series. Well, you would get a chance to do that on what would be a week from Saturday, Game 7, or really. Game 1 reference at Yankee Stadium. Just fantasizing about Cardinal Yankee all of my life, and it's come close. 96? They never really got close against the Mets in 2000, but 2001 they had a great team. Yankees were in the World Series then, and in 2004 when the Yankees were nothing on the Red Sox. Got all these close calls for the Cardinals and Yankees to play in the World Series. Never thought it would be this year, but hey, at this point, they're the only two teams that are officially in the LCSs. So, with that all said, that's the way I look at it. I'll be curious to see what Mike Shildt does with the rotation. I don't know if he'll be more apt to start Wainwright on Friday. If the Nationals, bye, home, away. Let me put it this way. Here's what I would do. What I would do? Sure. Watching this. Michaelis goes game one. And then I'll play this off the going to be national for the sake of the discussion. Assuming it's a day game, it's Michaelis in game one, Wainwright in game two. If in St. Louis and a day game. Now, if it's the Dodgers, I'm not sure Saturday will be a day game. I'm not saying it won't. I just don't know because when it was Cardinals and the Dodgers in St. Louis, I believe that was like an early start day game in 2013. They can't start that early in Los Angeles, so I don't know how they would handle that. I mean, they can, but they won't. And so I'll be curious on that. And then does that make you go Dakota Hudson because you want Wainwright to start in St. Louis? I don't know. But from my standpoint, at this moment, if it's in St. Louis, it's Michaelis, Wainwright, then Flaherty, Hudson. That's how I would set this up. Your thoughts are welcome. I'm just anti-messing with guys' routine, unless it's an absolute. That's where I am, and I see it absolutely blow up in managers way more often than. All right, million comments in here. You can watch, of course, on Twitter, on YouTube, on the Inside STL channel, and on a variety of different channels on Facebook. Tim, you're absolutely right about the routine. That, Mark Chilton. Can you overstate the momentum the Birds carried from Game 4 playing a role in the first inning? I don't think you can. Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that because it's one of those things, I think for fans it works that way. Cardinal fans felt great the last approximately 48 hours because of what happened on Monday. But in reality, as we saw with Monday's game, we want to talk about momentum. Well, let's talk about Game 3 into Game 4 and what happens in Game 4. Goldschmidt hits a home run and Ozuna hits a home run. You're not forgetting about Game 3. But that's how quick it can go. So from my standpoint, as devastating as Game 4 was to Braves fans, the analogy would be the devastation Cardinal fans experienced following Game 3. That would be equal there. If Foltynewicz strikes out Dexter Fowler on a 3-2 pitch, a lot of that is halted. But Fowler grinded it in that bat, and he laid off. That was the key. The absolute difference in this thing was the Cardinal hitter's ability to lay off the pitch that they got themselves out with on Friday in Game 2. That was the difference. And I'll also say this, and some of you who listen to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 590, the Fan, KFNF, Inside STL every morning may have heard me say this. I watched the press conference yesterday in Atlanta, and Flaherty, and it's just who he is, he just exudes confidence. He's got Bob Gibson as his mentor. He's got Carpenter and Adam Wainwright as mentors. He's got the right guys as mentors. And he just was like, he was talking about the game and just be focused on kind of like an expectation, like I'm going to go out. Question. That's what I'm going to do. Foltynewicz, again, I said it on the radio. It happened to wind up being right, but I don't know if my reasoning. I just watched his body language yesterday, and he was looking down, which is hell on a lack of confidence, and talking about his family and what he was going to do that night. And granted, it's not like he brought that up as a non sequitur. I'm sure he asked. Just the body language didn't exude the confidence that Jack Flaherty's did. And so that's why, from my standpoint, the tone was set with Dexter Fowler laying off what's a pitch that I think they were swinging and missing at on Friday. And then when it was 1-0, Matt Carpenter can still K there, and then they can get out of the inning with only one run because you have bases loaded, 2 outs with Edman. But Carpenter's able to battle in a 3-2. and lay off a pitch that I think he would have swung at on Friday. And at that point, I think Fultonevich, now I think it's crumbling, and then Tommy Edman does what he does, and that's it. Fine, the only out he got was on a sacrifice. The way I like it. That was something else. That was absolutely something else. See the Cardinals just continue to pile on. So I don't know if it was necessarily a carryover, because I think the tone was actually set with Dexter Fowler, Matt Carpenter falls out of the strike. Let's go back in. If the Nats win, they have red caps. So the Cardinals would go Navy. Big point nobody is talking about. Lawrence Michael, if I could give out, if we had a budget on the unofficial postgame show, what I would do is I would get you a prize. Now, I wouldn't mail it to you. I couldn't afford the stamp. But I would get you a prize, and then I'd say, hey, Lawrence Michael, when you're in the neighborhood, you come on down to the basement, pick up your prize here. But I think that's the most important thing that I've read so far in this unofficial postgame show, and that is if the Nationals, Cardinals will win, could be where on the road. How about this factor? This is something. These are the kinds of things that there's always got to be a problem. If the Cardinals play in Los Angeles on Friday and Saturday, you know what they're going to be wearing on Saturday? The victory blue. Watch Twitter for that reaction. That's something to keep. And when I say keep an eye on, I mean really lock in on it. What else do we have? Day game Saturday per the app. Yeah, that's what I figured it would be. Now, if you had a situation where it wasn't a big market, like let's say the Twins would have beaten the Yankees, and then the Dodgers were hosting it, maybe they would have flipped. Like if you have the Twins and the Rays, I don't know. I mean, because the other part of it is it's one's on the Cardinals and Nationals or Dodgers will be on TBS, and the Yankees and Astros Rays will be on Fox. That's already so the time slot's already set. I'm just curious. Like I think the Cardinals and Dodgers 2013 1:00 start. I don't know why early start. And the reason why I say that, I remember watching Missouri and Florida play down at where I was watching, and I think it was early in the day. And the reason I keep bringing that up is they're not going to start a game at 1:00 in 11:00 St. Louis time, 11:00. But the Yankees and Astros, Rays are playing, and I guess of course that's patient. All right, what else do we have? Do I think Acuna was intentionally hit? Yes. Yes, I do. Yep. Yes. And honestly, I expected Yadier Molina to be hit. That's what I thought. I did. So I put the Twitter poll out there, and most people also thought he was intentionally hit. And I think he was intentionally hit, and I thought that Braves would hit Molina. Thinking it might not be a bad idea at Wieters and avoid this, which is also why I was stunned when Jack Flaherty popped up in the 6th inning. Brian Snitker does not strike me as the gangster, so to speak, that Tony La Russa was. Mike Schilt has certainly learned from Tony La Russa. So, in my opinion, the Cardinals imagine that everything have that they were saying that in the post game, but that's what I loved Flair. See, you have Jack Flaherty and you have Carlos Martinez. Acuna starts running his mouth, and what does Flaherty do? He just stares at him. Okay, they're over there. Plenty of time. What are you gonna do? I think Acuna invited him to meet outside. That's what I was taking that. That's what I thought he was. All right, I've been all over the Facebook questions. Let me go into the questions from Twitter, YouTube, and everything else. Let's see. Tim is the best. That is, of course, accurate. The of people that say this, Cardinals. What are your thoughts on that? Of people say Matthew Berra, 5 NLCS appearances in 9 years. Say that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of two different questions. I gather there was probably a typo in there. Regarding the 2019 Cardinals, from my standpoint, based on what they have done April through September, going in, this is a team that bottom tier of the 10 teams that were competing postseason. Now, what do you have? 5 left, I guess. Um, so that's one element of it. However, it's a team that has potential to do huge things, as we saw them do in August and for the first part of September, all the way through Cub Series and Wrigley Field. Why? Marcell Ozuna, Paul Goldschmidt. What happened in Arizona and in St. Louis up until the final day of the season? They both went super cold, and Ozuna went cold in September. Drought. And so then it reduces potential. So Ozuna coming on like this comes out of nowhere. Tommy Edman doing what he's doing continues to be. Edman has been throughout his at the big league level. Let's take a look at some of these numbers here. Fowler had 1 hit today. He finishes hitting 0-1. Yes, along with 2 hits gets him up to 250. And Goldschmidt 429, Ozuna 429. Each had Goldschmidt 2 hits, Ozuna a hit. Molina hit 143, but won a game. And then Carpenter was yanked. Who would have gotten in Las Vegas on that? All he did was walk, but it was one of the bats of the entire game. Bader 200, Edman 316, and Paul DeJong with your baseball card stat. Batting average 22. Goldschmidt with a 905 slugging percentage, and Ozuna with a 57 slugging. So it's there, but it hadn't been there consistently, and it came against the Braves. Now, I think we would all agree that the Cardinals are going to face even better pitching when they go up against whoever they go up against, or the Dodgers. And then I suppose the only way they're going to, and it depends. I mean, the Yankees' rotation now is different than most of the year. But either way, the Yankees break. Let me see what else we have going on. Oh, so your follow-up question, Matthew Berra, and that is regarding the Cardinals, I guess, as a whole. I don't know who's saying the organization. Maybe people are saying the organization is not a good organization. Talk about a good team. I understand where people are coming from. If you're comparing the 2019 Cardinals, 2019 Astros, 2019 Dodgers, I would imagine all of us, if we're being honest, would say the Cardinals are the 4th best team of those. I think that'd be a clear vote. But again, the 2004 Cardinals were a better team during the regular season. Red Sox, the 2005 Cardinals were a better team. The 2006 Tigers were a much better team than the Cardinals were during the regular season. Saw what happened. Things happen. So then what changed? And from my standpoint, Freddie Freeman's injury, a huge factor in the outcome for the Braves, because you had essentially a hole right in the middle of the lineup for the Braves. And I realize he got a hit today, but he was a liability for him. I don't think he was healthy, kind of hockey playing it, and maybe he will following the prize if he wasn't healthy. That's a huge. And then the Cardinals just really essentially cut up Freeman, Donaldson, and Markakis. So if you have the core of the lineup not producing, you see what happens. The Cardinals had the core of the lineup, and that's what got them across the finish. Let's see what else we got. If it's the Nationals, it has to be Dak and Waino in games 1 and 2. Well, Dakota Hudson was on short rest if you're doing that in order. Monday, pitching on Friday. Again, I like to see the Cardinals start Wainwright in a day game. Let's see. Jake Hawkins says Gould is reporting in his pregame speech. Schilt told his team, "We are the Cardinals. We want to win. Now is the time the playoffs begin. The quest for the best will put you to the test. The chase is on." That is a hell of a speech. If he did in fact say that, that is a hell of a speech. Let's see. You look good, Timmy. Thank you, Mikey J. With the weather forecast this weekend in St. Louis, do you think that plays into plays? Dodgers either just taking a lead or the ball's hitting to a hell. For watching me, I'll do the play-by-play. The Nationals think the ball's stuck in the fence. The Dodgers saying it's a home run. I can't figure out what the hell's going on. Jack Peterson circling the bases. It's being called a home run for the moment, so they would be up 1-0 on the very first pitch off Steven Strasburg. Umpires rush to the fence because I believe Juan Soto saying that the ball didn't go over the fence, lodged in the fence. Either way, for the purpose of the discussion, I don't think you can count on a rainout. I don't think you can count on a rainout, but factor, Chris Carpenter does not start Game 7 of the 2011 World Series. Cardinals got a break on that 2000 rainout. I don't know, break on the rotation. 5, but from my standpoint, if it's in St. Louis, Friday night and Saturday day, Michaelis, Wainwright. It is, and I'm Michaelis, Wainwright, Flaherty, Hudson rotation. I will move a lot of chips into the middle. Very comfortable. Why? Because Hudson's not eligible to pitch until shouldn't be eligible Saturday, short rest, and you want, from my standpoint, aware of it, Adam Wainwright splits starting day games. Sunday day game at Busch Stadium. And then you have Jack Flaherty on full rest in Game 3 and full rest in Game 7, or you would have full rest Game 1 Fantasy Stadium. Now, if it's in Los Angeles, I don't know on that. Then it changes it. Wainwright on the road, rough. No way around that. I don't know if they would then go Michaelis, Hudson, then Flaherty, Wainwright. I'd be surprised based on how well Wainwright pitched and his veteran presence on the road versus Hudson getting starting out. That's interesting. Either way, I'm pretty comfortable in, for certain in my mind, if it's St. Louis, it's Michaelis, Wainwright, 1 and 2. If it's in Los Angeles, I'm not as sure. Because they might want to get Wainwright starting St. Start Game 1. Follow thought process. Wainwright, Michaelis, and Flaherty, Hudson, Wainwright, Michaelis, playing this whole thing. And I love doing this kind of crap, even though it's all hypotheticals. Tim, that's the best backsplash in baseball. Thank you so much. As you can imagine, very active. Very active in the signing. Let's see what we got. Drop it. One room last. That's from Tyson Beffa. Thank you. I'm out. Can't take this. Going to post program. So I guess we're having some issues with the Wi-Fi, if that's the case. But see, this is the reason why I was for shutting Flaherty down before it started. No Waino on the road. Yeah, I understand it. I don't think it was a real option. I just don't think it was a. I am saying I wouldn't really worry about it. Looks like the Dodgers have taken a 2-0 lead. So Peterson did not have a home run. Max Muncy did, and so Steven Strasburg faced 2 hitters, and he has given up 2 runs. So they're going batshit in Los Angeles, and the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead. So the probability of the Cardinals hosting Friday and reduced, but nonetheless reduced. Let's see here. Click that the insidestl logo has not changed since the very first one. Jay Boyd signed back in the day. That was Matt Siebert, co-founder of insidestl. Signed the insidestl. Yes, that logo was created in July of. Let's see. Hard to drive to my son's soccer practice with this raging robo-chub. Tim is so hot. Thanks you, David Potts. Let's see. MLB Network is gushing over Yachty. This coming on Twitter. Yeah, well, I mean, I would understand. I would for the Cardinals. If you're a Braves fan, if you're an Atlanta sports fan, stuff that you've heard, uh, Super Bowl debacle in 28 to 4 outs away from the first series win, 2001, of that happen. By the way, this is something that I fly under the radar, but Stephen Wildwood presented. I don't know why they yanked Josh Tomlin in Game 4, bring in Shane Green to face Goldschmidt. I don't know what that was about. Tomlin was top end reliever, but he was breezing through, yanked him, bring in Green, and that kind of set the dominoes effect that Green wound up having to throw a bunch of pitches in the ninth, and then that meant they had to go to Iran. I just thought that Brian Snitker missed, and kind of was able to get out of it in one case, but I think he backed himself into a corner on Monday. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Brian McCann says he's retiring. Let's see. Does it bother me that the boys are spraying champagne all over each other in the clubhouse? That's one of those things that I never really understand why people get upset about it. I don't like they're enjoying themselves. I realize the other sports don't do it, but I don't know. I kind of one of those things people I guess don't like baseball, like to use shit on baseball. Fun, no hurt. Although inevitably, I'd say within a decade, these things will be wager that televise the from the inevitably is going to happen. Surprised it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I not bothered. Players get up, they shake hands, a lot of each other. 6 or 7 games. Baseball players have just advanced in a best of 5 tradition, kind of been exaggerated greatly because initially you would win your division and then you'd be in the World Series. Then it became win your division and then you play the winner of the NL East or the West, and then you go to the World Series, and now you've got all these different stages that theoretically you would win a wild card game like the Nationals, celebrate, win the NLDS if the Nationals were to come back and do that, celebrate, win the NLCS, celebrate, win the NL Series and celebrate, and that's in addition to clinching the wild card spot and celebrate. So it does seem, really like breaking it down, it does seem like a lot, but in the whole candidly, I have a feeling a lot of these guys, at least back in the day before video game hotel rooms, boys were out having a taste anyway. The difference was spraying it on each. Let's see. The audio is goofy. Yeah, I apologize that apparently we're having some issues, but it is the unofficial post-game show, and it is basements. Exactly a high budget station. So I apologize, and we'll work to get it better for the NLCS. I can't help but think it's Iggy's fault we can't hear him. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I apologize for that. That sucks. If that's the case, everything's being recorded on the podcast, so you'll be able to hear that for the fun and games on the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Dodgers or Nationals preference? My personal preference. By the time people would listen to this on the podcast, boy, and now the Dodgers are over them. Strasburg's going full. Bad day for the National League so far, as the Dodgers have 2 on and just 1 out, and they're already up to nothing. I think they're both super tough, and it's unfortunate the Cardinals won't be able to have Flaherty in 1 and 5, because it's the kind of series where you might only see Flaherty. Dodgers is good, but I mean, if Ozuna and Goldschmidt are on, I think Tommy Edman at this point is somebody you start. Edman's going to. You just can't anything out in a post. So cliche. That anything truly can happen if you get great starting pitching. The Cardinals have gotten great starting pitching. Great starting pitching. Both Flaherty starts were outstanding. Flew under the radar in game. Bolton never. Wainwright was sick. God, I thought he was going to be good. I never thought he was. And Michaelis was outstanding. Bad for Dakota Hudson. Good. So and Dakota Hudson, if he doesn't have some of the bizarre stuff going on over base, so to have that, then that's encouraging. I still worry about the ninth inning with Carlos Martinez around based on what one. Andrew Miller was outstanding. That would be especially important should it be the Cardinals and Dodgers value. Webb, not like he was all over the place in this. Good. So if you have those two options, that's a. But I mean, it's going to come down to can the Cardinal bats in the middle of the order carry over what they did against the Braves. And the reality is, the nice thing is, and I tweeted about this when we saw the National, that the Dodgers have to use Bueller, and right now, the Strasburg on here, and nothing. So I gather that means it would be once again more fun with the Cardinals and Clayton Kershaw, and then Ryu. But I would imagine you would 1 and 2. So from that standpoint, you know, my mindset is similar to the Braves series: get one on the road if it is the Dodgers, and then you have Jack Flaherty sitting there for 3, and take your chances. You know, so. You know, like I said, this is my mindset on the 2019 Cardinals. This postseason is what I called in poker a free roll. We'll play poker. Going to the free, playing poker call. That you have the opportunity to, you know, play the game for free and you win. Standpoint. On first base, ran toward home plate and were able to turn a double play. So at this point, you know, the Cardinals are free rolling in my mind. If they can get to the World Series, not a year where I thought they were going to heading into the postseason. I thought this was a very good team heading into the season, but maybe they're peaking at the right time, like the 2016. I mean, when it gets down to it, they played well enough to win 4 of the 5 games. It's a very good Braves team. That's the reality. That was some hack team played well. And as we found out, it's not like these movable objects. I thought the Rays would push the Astros. The Dodgers here, for the powerhouse that they are in a game 5 and have to burn through Bueller. So rule it out, but you can't probability. And I don't view the Cardinals as good as some of these previous Cardinal teams. I sure hell didn't view. You ask guys who played on the 2006 team, and they'll tell you that was the worst team, good team, of the teams that were in the playoffs. Let's see. Still, the Braves started shit. We finished us. Nobody fucks with us. That's from Lawrence Michael. I said it. Are we in the Dodgers' heads? I don't think so. I mean, the last time the two teams played was 2014, and on the Dodgers now that was on that team. But I mean, these rosters, they turn over so much. Mattingly was managing that. I just don't think it's a factor. But this would be the 4th time in years that 2009 gotten the Holiday dropped fly ball series, 2013, 2014. Flaherty game 2 and 7 if necessary. No, that's from Chad Rollins. Flaherty game 3 on full rest and 7 if necessary. I really hope that's what they do. I really hope that's what. Don't mess. Don't do it, especially at 23. Don't do it. I really feel pain. And you saw Verlander last night, veteran Hall of Famer. Saw these guys routine. Still think Snitker screwed up and having Eichel start on short rest. As a fan of the Cardinals, I loved it. Charlie Johnson says he can't pitch before game 3. Well, I mean, I agree with you, Charlie. But I certainly I don't think Dad was the only person who made the suggestion. Holy shit, Dr. Drew was the ego on the Masked Singer. Obviously, as you can imagine, I am DVRing it and cannot wait to watch Monsters. Wife, this 1000%. In related news, Randy A will not be on the. Don't know what that's in reference to. Tim, you have to see Randy A's Instagram post from the locker room. Okay, now, so are you saying, I know Lawrence Michael, I know he's good people, and are you saying that Randy Arozarena, oh boy. All right, well, I need, and I know that there might be audio issues here, but now we need to have a talk. Are you saying, I don't know, start following Randy Arozarena on Instagram. I have to make a pit stop by Abigail Mack's page. Are you saying Randy Arozarena posted Mike Shilt's speech in the clubhouse and said something along the lines of, oh God, yep, the Braves started some shit, we finished the shit, and that's how we roll. No one fucks with us ever. Now I don't give a fuck who we play. We're going to fuck them up. We're going to take it right to them the whole fucking way. We're going to kick their fucking ass. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, that's what we'll be talking about now. Oh, now I got to be honest with you. So was he live streaming? Is that what was going on? This is what Antonio Brown did in the Steelers locker room, and they went nuts about it. Now, oh, Randy Arozarena is a rookie. Oh God. Hey, Lawrence Michael, when I saw you post that, I'm like, you're just bullshitting. And now, oh my God. Oh. Schilt got caught. Was it like in Milwaukee earlier in the year? And he got caught. He's fuck every other word. The exception of apparently being in the clubhouse at SunTrust here 20 minutes ago. This is going to be good entertainment. That wing of the Cardinal fan base that fancies itself as holier than thou and has somehow attached morals and religion to the Cardinal way, when in reality it was actually a book written by George Kissel about fundamental baseball. So this is going to be fascinating. You just don't live stream. It's still saying it. I don't have a problem with him saying it. You get the boys fired up. But didn't think he was on camera. Oh, God help us all. It says somebody, D.A. Ersting says it's already been taken down. Yep. Oh my God. Well, Tim, that'll be another outfielder given away to Tampa for a used fleshlight. That comes from Charlie Johnson. Charlie, you can come by the house and pick up a gift for our low-budget, unofficial post-game show here from the basement. Mark Chilton says, better than the sermon that Matheny would have given. This is amazing. Yeah, I got to tell you something. Now I got to dig in on it. This is going to be brutal because now it's going to be apologies and all this stuff. He was talking to his guys and he's fired up. And yeah, I still don't know who I would say started the shit, because Acuna always does the stutter step thing around third base. Martinez yelling at him and saying he's disrespecting him as a veteran. Self-awareness check, game one. And Martinez is screaming at the Braves dugout. So, and by the way, if you were wondering if Flaherty threw at Acuna, you weren't sure that he did? Now that we're aware of Mike Shilt's post-game comments, courtesy of Randy Arozarena's very popular Instagram, are we all now officially confirming that he was thrown at intentionally? I already thought it was the case. Now I'm all in. Now I got to move all in. Too bad Arozarena won't be on the roster now. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to handle this. I wasn't expecting this tonight. I thought my audio would work. I thought my Wi-Fi would work. And I didn't think Mike Schilt would be motherfucking the Braves via Randy Arozarena's live stream on Instagram. These are things, and I didn't expect 10 runs in the first inning. If you could have parlayed that and put $1 down, you would have been a billionaire this evening. Let's see. So we have a link that was sent to me. For those of you who like to see it, I am told, thank you for those of you forwarding it to me, STL Sports Central. Okay, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to see if I can hear. Oh, God almighty. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I don't know. I sit down here in my basement and do QFTA on the Tim McKernan Show podcast, and I've done, what, 4 of these things now, and I've done one in an Uber, and I can talk for like 3 hours. I must be, there's a lot messed up here, obviously. Goes without saying. But I have to tell you, this is the thing that has made me, not because I'm like, oh, but because I'm like, oh my God. Like if this were the Yankees, you know, people would go, what? Because it's the Cardinals. Oh my God. Oh, God. Oh my goodness. You got so many layers to this thing. And here's the thing. Usually I'm hosting a radio show. Most shit doesn't happen before 7 a.m., so we have time to read about it or watch it and then absorb it. I'm reacting to it live here on the unofficial postgame show from my basement. And like I said, Lawrence Michael, when I saw your post, I'm just like, oh, that'd be amusing if he would have said it. I had no idea that your post was real. Holy shit. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Did I install the fast? Boy, there's a lot of attention on my backsplash. No. Elysium Restoration and Design. I don't even know what a backsplash is. Is it this stuff? I have no idea. I said it before, and now that more and more people are watching the unofficial postgame show, which means I better get my audio act together for the NLCS. I'll have somebody here. Right now, it's just me in the basement by myself. Pause for NLCS. But hopefully, something I kind of did for the moment after game 1. But either way, Elysium Restoration and Design did the backsplash. They said following game 1, the only thing cold in the room, pitch black. Vampire Boy. A wonderful Butch Patrick. Let's see what else. Let's see. Doug Vaughn gets attacked for being a Trump supporter in my chat. Doug Vaughn and his MAGAs will say it's just locker room talk. I doubt if we can somehow not have a Donald Trump discussion here on the unofficial postgame show, which is, again, if we were to parlay that into our parlay of the Cardinals scoring 10 runs and Mike Schilt motherfucking the Braves and Randy Arozarena broadcasting it to his Instagram, billionaires on this all hitting, then if a Donald Trump reference would be the thing. I don't know how people read. Here's my reaction. This is a hot take, and you get to watch it actually organically form. I have no problem with Mike Schilt saying it. None. Because I know that shit like that gets said all the time in locker rooms. Okay, and I'm not talking about, the Billy Bush locker rooms. I'm talking about locker rooms. I have no problem with it. Problem is Randy Arozarena holding up the phone, podcasting what's supposed to be a private moment. Oh, God. Oh, I mean, what are the cards? John Mozeliak and Bill DeWitt have to go from up here to here immediately because now this is going to be the focal point. I mean, it is going to be. Well, the Cardinals will get talked about tomorrow. Skip Bayless will be breaking down the Cardinals. God almighty. Did the Dodgers just hit another home run? We're at the track. We are at the wall. It is gone. Who is that? Hernandez with the home run to make it 3-0. Taylor with like 2 plays. Now 3-0 Dodgers. Cardinal starter might be making its way to Los Angeles. I know they're going to stay overnight in Atlanta no matter what. But I'll tell you what, now Hernandez is doing like pelvic thrusts. This is going to be an X-rated NLCS. And this is going to be amazing. St. Louis versus Los Angeles, possibly. All while Stanley Steamer is dealing with having to potentially get deposed in St. Louis for his Rammies. This is great. Mike Schilt saying, I don't give a fuck who we play, we're going to fuck them up. Hernandez is doing pelvic thrusts as he cross home plate. This is great. It's right up my alley. This is perfect for the unofficial postgame show, assuming the audio works. You see any changes in the roster from the NLDS to the NLCS? Yes, something tells me Arozarena won't be on it. That was my tight read on that. Ban that tweeter. I don't know which tweeter we're talking about. I don't know, maybe the one that was bringing up Doug and MAGAs. I have no idea. Whatever. Let's see what else we got. Fuck it, it will be nice to be the heel instead of the B-fib. That comes from the great Mark Chilton. Yeah, I mean, the issue with it is that even though the Cardinals themselves do not do it, there is a perception nationally that the Cardinals fancy themselves as the keeper of the game. The reality is that's not the case, okay? But I know that's the perception. It might even be the perception in St. Louis. And then there's a wing of the Cardinal fan base who fancies themselves as the best fans in baseball and the keepers of the game. And so this is going to cause heads to explode. I can't wait for Sunday morning in Dorothy Light's sound off lesson. I'd like to take the DeLorean to Sunday morning to open up the Post-Dispatch and read Dorothy Light's sound off lesson. I can't believe this happened. Again, not because I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be a whole thing. I love the fact, however, that I don't have to like do television minus this shit in my basement. And I can be on the radio and be honest and go, yeah, I think it's funny. And this is what guys say in locker rooms all the time. And I don't have to feign moral outrage that I have to feign. So, you know, it's a nice break for being a hoodlum. Do you think Waka will come onto the roster and exceed the 2013 Magic? I think he could be on the roster, but I don't foresee what we saw in 2013 ever again from Michael. And that's not a shot at Michael Waka. We haven't seen much like Michael Waka since 2013. I mean, Bumgarner in 14 certainly would. But Tim, I feel bad for Schilt. Yeah, I do too. And the thing is, while I know Arozarena is going to get lit up, you know, he didn't think he was doing anything wrong, but this is going to be brutal for him. It's that part. I feel bad. I do feel badly for him. I do, because in talks like that, if he knows that broadcast, I do creep and a pervert. Goes from basements, place I'm allowed. Mike Schilt, you know, I think in his apology for whatever happened earlier in the season, reference. But people put their own things in there, and that's the deal apparently. And so now, after he made that apology like 5 months ago, now he's going to have that, and it's a shame, and that sucks. It really does. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's truly it's a bad beat. I mean, it really is. Let's see. What else do we have here? You could even see Bader's ween in the background. Is that right? It's just going to a lot of different levels. But how? Let me ask you this. Well, I can flip over. Me, but I'm not used to coming up. Jock Peterson back on base. How are they handling this on the real post-game show? Are they talking about it? I mean, for real. Like, it's the story. And I guess this is the break on the unofficial post-game show. This is, oh God, there's that interview. I wonder if he's aware of it yet. If they're just like, yeah, we'll tell him tomorrow. Kind of like how they handle things with Logan in Succession. Let him have his fun tonight. We'll tell him tomorrow morning. Right, Logan in Succession. Slaves and they probably have no idea this. Oh my goodness. Owie zowie. Didn't anticipate. Brian Henson, the great Brian Henson, I'd say. You can see it on STL Sports Central. Already been viewed 10,000 times. God almighty. Oh my goodness. Am I off the mark on this? I mean, again, I'm reacting because I'm not looking at any other social media outside of my own shit here. I mean, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal in this. It's a huge, follow me here because somebody's going to post like on a message board. I said it's a huge deal. It's not a huge deal in the whole scheme of things. Like in reality, it's not a huge deal. Okay, follow me on that. But as far as the way it will be covered and the way it will be treated and the way the Cardinals now handle it, and then the impact going forward on the way managers and coaches handle locker rooms, that sucks. And I'm sure it's going to be, he just got done winning every postseason. And I assure you, he was tossing and turning like he said last night. He didn't toss and turn. And Randy Arozarena, who might have a future with the organization, has to feel absolutely. What is going on? Can we get a recap? I've been watching the Nats game and I don't live in St. Louis anymore. Yes, I will do it. I'm in the middle of doing the unofficial post-game show here. And I'm just going along, giving takes. Apparently the audio's cutting out. We decided to go, I don't know if you can see it. We decided to go with a lav mic, and I guess we're having audio issues. I apologize. I'll just go back to the old school. I had these headphones. Oh, here they were. Microphone on the earbuds, and that's what I did following Sunday's game. So we tried to up it with the technology. Whatever. So anyway, I'm focused on some people saying they couldn't hear anything, and then I'm looking down, and the great Lawrence Michael says something along the lines of, Schilt just said, fuck the Braves, they started shit, we finished shit, now we're going to beat whoever the fuck's in our way. And I'm just like, oh, that'd be funny if he would have said that. And then I see Lawrence Michael say, no, he really did say it, and Randy Arozarena was live streaming his post-game speech to the cheers of the Cardinals on his Instagram. And so what Mike Schilt was saying, thinking it was a private speech that would, as we like to say, stay in the room, has now been and will continue to be broadcast to everyone. And so Mike Schilt and the organization will feel a great deal of embarrassment. Cardinals will have to explain this regarding the team they just beat, which will be brutal. As far as I'm concerned, it now makes it a 5-star lock that Flaherty threw at Acuna, although I was certain that he had done it anyway, as close as you can be to certain without knowing. And not that he said, and yes, we threw at Acuna, but considering he said the Braves started some shit and we finished the shit, that gives you an idea of what that was all about. And now it's bulletin board material for either the Dodgers or the Nationals. Not that that matters, not that they play any harder, but now you have this organization, and this is going to have to end to 48 hours. And Randy Arozarena, oh man, I'm telling you, it's just, God. And maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe this will just fly under the radar. I don't think it will, because it's titillating. It's, I think if it's like the Twins or the Rays or something like that, but this is the Cardinals. Right or wrong, viewed as this sacred franchise in baseball, and you have the Cardinal manager talking about shoving it up the ass of the Braves, and they started shit and we finished it, and fuck them, and we're going to fuck up whoever stands in our way. I mean, it's going to be. This is also wonderful that I'm not currently on the radio or anywhere, and I can actually talk about this stuff. I don't know how people. I have no idea how like the local news and Fox Sports Midwestern, stations that FCC broadcasts. I don't know how you're going to handle this thing. Let's see. Try taking that jacket off. It might help the mic. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bad beat. Here it is. Here's a little lav mic right here. But then it might make the levels too high. I don't know. I can just go on my phone. Yeah, more people are getting back into the chat here because people want to talk about this. Let me ask you this, because I'm sure plenty of you are watching the Fox. I have the Fox Sports coverage up. I see the Cats interviewing right now. Have they brought it up? I can't imagine they have, but I'll just know. Have they brought it up on the Fox Sports West postgame? Brought up anywhere? I'm asking. I'm rhetorical questions. Daddy Padre says, "What am I going to tell my kids about Schilt's postgame speech?" I would say, remember Berube's speech? It was a great speech. They went out and won the Stanley Cup that night with. Where can we find that audio? Yeah, I should mention that. It's like resetting, hosting a radio show. STL Sports Central is the account that has it. And to reiterate what the quote was, and this is the unofficial post-game show, so this is X-rated. I wouldn't be surprised if my Brazzers feed pops up on the monitor behind me. It's been up there usually. The Braves started some shit. We finished this shit, and that's how we roll. No one fucks with us ever. Now, I don't give a fuck who we play. We're going to fuck them up. We're going to take it right to them the whole fucking way. We're going to kick their fucking ass. From Randy Arozarina's Instagram live of Mike Schilt postgame. So, there you go. Keith Darmody says, hashtag clueless. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could be talking about Arozarina. You could be talking about anything for all I know. Well, you know that they know about it. It's just a tough spot. I mean, it's a tough spot, but it has to be talked about. And I know how they'll handle it eventually on Friday. Then unfortunate incident, of course, with the Cardinals. But I mean, it's a different deal. Cardinals market themselves as most professional sports families, but the Cardinals maybe a little bit more so. So this is just holy shit. All right, I've been going for an hour and a minute. Anything else? Lawrence Michael posting the Schilt comments. Randy has since then had it taken down. Yeah, but it's already. I mean, it's in. Oh, I see Chilton. You're saying it's on Barstool. Yeah, I mean, it's not. And I mean, I guess Schilt will issue a statement apologizing. We didn't respect the Braves. I have a great deal of respect for Brian Snitker and their team, and I was just caught up in the moment, and I said things I shouldn't have said, even though I'd never be apologizing had it not been live streamed. Nor should he. Just like if Brian Snitker would have said, the Cardinals started some shit, fuck them, and now we're going to kick whoever's on our way asses, you know? How guys fire teams up. They do. The issue is the live stream. Oh, the live stream. God. I'm telling you, we're going to live stream the shit Doug and the Cat and all of our producers over the years have together in commercial breaks. I think we'd be residing in Alcatraz, you know? But you understand, you're in the room, so to speak, you know? Hate it. I really do. In one sense, I'm like, good for Schilt and the Cardinals for being fired. On the other side, I'm like, bad for Schilt because I know what's coming for him. And what's going to happen for Arozarina. It's going to 3-0 in Los Angeles. Still, I have the Fox Sports. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to cover this. It's just and I'm not talking about will they cover it. Here's post game. I would imagine in his post game, the reporters didn't. Be my guess. They can't ask him. How would they know? Let's see. Hey Tim. Hey Andrew. If this was 1950, it would be a problem. I'm sick of the soft stuff. Well, listen. I mean, how many F-bombs have I dropped on this? Or I am on this. But I'm just telling you the way it works. So it's not like I'm like, he needs to apologize. I'm telling you. And I think we all know this. Everybody watching this knows this. This is going to be an issue. It's just the way that it is. Now, but does it impact what takes place on Friday in Los Angeles or in St. Louis? It doesn't. But it'll be a storyline. It'll be a storyline. Now this series is going to have a whole lot more attention. The Cardinals and Braves next year, whole hell of a lot more attention. And like I said, if there was any question as to whether Acuna was thrown at now, I think do we not know the answer? Any of you watching, Were you in the opinion that Flaherty just let one happen to get away on Acuna, which is fine if you did, and now you've seen Schilt's post game, and do you still think that's the case? I mean, I can't imagine you. Clearly, that was a message. Let's. I'm getting texts. I'm getting. Schilt in interview. Here it comes. Well, let me know if I mean, I have it up. Yeah, he's being. How about the Braves and the way they handled the tomahawk chop thing? Lord, dead spins. Then they tripped over their dick line. Was pretty spot on. Yeah, I don't know. You know, honestly, on that one, I don't. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything regarding anything on the post game on the Braves comments on that. I honestly, I was surprised they. I mean, my God, the Braves have been hearing about the tomahawk chop for decades now. I thought that Helsley's comments would be a thing that would tomahawk chop. Tomahawk. I would have bet against that all day long. Would have bet against that. Listening to you and Schilt at the same time is making my brain work overtime. If he addresses Arazarina's Instagram feed, please somebody let me know. Because I would imagine something that took place half hour ago. Fox Sports. I mean, if the reporters in there knew about it, it would have been like one. He'll be addressing it tomorrow in Los Angeles or tomorrow in St. Louis. And there'll be a statement sent out by the Cardinals. I'll be getting a statement in my email. Check to see if I've gotten it yet. Coming because it's how this stuff played. So, let's. Right. Anything else, boys? I've been going an hour, and super cute tonight as always. Boots to match. Don't think there's the cat with Bill DeWitt. I wonder what's going to come up. I can't. I'm agile as the Dickens, as most of you know from my ham sodas, but I can't. I don't think I can get the leg up. Show the boots. Aaron says he did not address it. And like I said, I think that he went in the interview and everybody in the interview wasn't aware of what happened. Tim, I'm back and just watched the speech. Oh my God, I'm fired up now. That comes from the great Neil Allen, Craig Paquette. Yeah, I love it. But just as far as the way the media works is going to be story. But you think Dave Roberts, assuming it's the Dodgers, is going to go, whoa, now I was kind of casual about getting back to the World Series for the third straight year and trying to win for the first time since '88. But now that I see this, I mean, it's just, who's going to be pissed off about it? The Braves and Mike Schilt. That's who's going to be pissed off about it. Guys, I paused Bill DeWitt for Tim. That comes from Joe Edward. Good. Have about the same portfolios. Seriously, is this a shower win? I don't know what that. I don't know if that's like a complaint about the baseball players who celebrate. I mean, they all do it. I mean, I like it, but some people don't like it. Here. Any other questions? So glad we don't have to hear that chat anymore this season. You're a rock star, Tim. Thank you, Donna. Funny, Carlos Martinez had the live stream up for Schilt speech time, but nothing bad happened. Oh, did he really? So much work left. Curtis, listen, brother, I don't know. I mean, I guess you're upset about the Cardinals celebrating. I don't know if you were upset about the Yankees celebrating one wins the other. I'll bet you whatever you would like to bet, and I'll give you my Venmo, and 10-1 the Dodgers or Nationals, same thing. Doing base. I recommend focus on my backsplash. Let's get people just to revisit the Flaherty thing. I get it. Flaherty starts game 3. You know what? I'd be disappointed in Mike Schilt, not for his F-bombs here. Couldn't care any less about that. I'd be disappointed if he starts Jack Flaherty in game. I can't imagine it even happening. Start him on full rest on Monday. There it is. That's that. In game 3. That's it. And then just figure out what you're going to do with 1 and 2. And I'm telling you, if we're now going to operate off the premise that it's more than likely, I love seeing that bracket with the Cardinals and step away. God, I want to see the Cardinals and Yankees play in the World Series. If it's in Los Angeles, I think you go Wainwright, Michaelis, Flaherty, Hudson, Wainwright. I think game 5 would be a day game in St. Louis. That's my reasoning why Wainwright would go 1, and then Michaelis, Flaherty. That's what I think all happen. Yes, I realize it's better than what? 70% chance that Jack Flaherty only pitches in 1 game. I realize that. Ideally, Jack Flaherty available then to start game 1, which I know just because 4 hours ago, Cardinals, Braves. Now we're talking about series schedule. Don't start Jack Flaherty on. Just don't. It sucks that they couldn't win on Sunday against the Braves because then you could have Flaherty starting game 1. That's the price you pay. Don't mess everything up. Start him on Saturday. I don't even think it's in play. I don't even think it's live. Things start so damn quickly. They're not doing it. And had they pulled them like innings in, I don't think. I still would have disagreed with it. So I understand, and I'm not reacting like this to like shit on the question. The question's a fair question. I get it. If we play it out, it isn't something. Only thing that say is, okay, you're up 10, we're now pulling Flaherty. But even then, he's already in his starter. It's just the way that it goes. It's a quote-unquote bad break to be up 10-0. I'm not mocking it. It's incredibly unique, historic occurrence. If the Dodgers and Astros both get eliminated, what does that do for the Cardinals' chances at a World Series berth? Well, if we're talking about a World Series berth, the Astros would have nothing to do with it. If we're talking about a World Series championship, I would say it increases it. I don't know what. There have been some moves throughout this thing. Walking Brian McCann, who is now retired. Far to me. Starting Justin Verlander on short rest. Far to me. Starting Dallas Keuchel on far to me. And a big mistake. I really got away with it because up today and Monday for that. And so I just, my standpoint, the Astros are ass. And you know what? Maybe Greinke. You saw Greinke get roughed up in Tampa, but Verlander, Cole, Tampa. Assuming that they're not going to start doing this short rest thing, so damn good. Honestly, with the Yankees, I've kind of looked at the Yankees as a powerhouse. Don't look at them as the Yankees of 6-3. Take your pick. End it 2000, 2003, 2004, whenever you would say the Yankees unended, or if you carry it over to 2009, still had Jeter. I don't view them that way because I view their rotation. But Severino part of the rotation. You don't know what you're going to get with tonight, start to start, and Jackson's good. So maybe it's like the Cardinals playing the Yankees. Strikes me as just a polar opposite. So we know the Yankees are there. We don't know that the Astros are there. Like Glass now, some butt ass. I mean, that guy can. But he's going up against Cole. I wonder what the number. Did my emotional risk management today, betting on the Braves. So, one of those things I'd like to give the numbers, but then kind of like my backsplash, then see about it, even though it's not intended to be a break. I guess maybe I should just X and then X. Holy shit! Astros were minus 270. Wow. Might be able to hear my watch the Let's see. The audio is horrible. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm sorry about it. We'll do better next time. Apologize. Disappointed if that's the case. But you'll be able to hear it all on the podcast. I guess sometimes it's been good and sometimes it's not. So I don't know. I don't know what happened on it, but we'll get away from it. I can assure you that, and I'll probably have some people. Let me see. I love you, Tim, but this audio is terrible. Yeah, I got a text from the gentleman who set it up, Connolly, who's the guy, and both of us aren't making any doing it to do it. Conflict with multiple mics on your MacBook picking up the audio, and so the computer can't out with a filter that's native to OBS. Fix as soon as I get over. Really sorry for the fuck up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate it. I mean, again, this is, I should have just we worked on it earlier today, and I apologize. One, and we having this issue if I would have just stuck with decided to do this. Mic caused audio issues, but if you want to hear the whole thing, it'll be up with 100% crystal clear audio on the podcast, which is recorded on a different. So that will be fixed for Friday night. Oh well, so it goes. All right, so there it is. The Cardinals advanced to the NLCS. So I was doing the math in my head. Am I correct on this? This will be Yadier Molina's 7th National League championship. Part of the 04 team. He was. 04, 05, 06, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. So 8? Am I right on this? But again, I'm counting on my big night. 04, 05, 06, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. 8 NLCSs. Holy shit. 8 NLCSs for you. That's incredible. So I will be back. We'll have better audio for Friday night and Saturday day. I guess I'm in Columbia anymore. Toddy could go. And then I guess doing this. We'll have the audio fixed if it was that bad. I apologize. There's no excuse. And I'll following fun and game Friday night. If you want to hear the whole podcast, you can. So the Tim McKernan Show on iTunes, and we'll look forward to talking with you about the NLCS and number 1 Friday night, either in Los Angeles or in St. Louis. Everybody who is watching, talk to you again on Friday.